Whenever you hear the government or the media tell you that you should be fine accepting government backdoors in all of your software or hardware that allows the police access to everything they want, and then you point out, but won't the criminals have access to all that too? And they say, no, it's perfectly safe. Only the government can use these intentional security holes that we implement in everything. Remind them of this story. U.S. officials confirmed Chinese hackers had access to law enforcement wiretap systems for months. So for months, they were pretty much spying on whatever network traffic they wanted. The group is a splinter of a larger state-backed hacking collective known as Typhoon. Chinese cyber attacks in the U.S. have surged in recent years, targeting critical infrastructure, government systems, and private corporations. Oh, really? Yeah, I seem to remember when the whole Snowden drama was happening, a lot of NSA tools got leaked, and part of their hacking tools was methods to frame other states for the hack, like make it look like Russia did it, or China did it, or Saudi Arabia did it. Ever since that came out, I'm pretty unlikely to look into or to believe the U.S. government when they're trying to tell me, oh, my Russian hackers, my Chinese hackers. Yeah, let me see your logs first. On Wednesday, the U.S. government confirmed that Chinese hackers breached several U.S. telecommunications service providers. The threat actors compromised wiretap systems used for law enforcement surveillance. The FBI and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, or CISA, issued a statement describing the campaign as broad and significant, implicating a state-sponsored hacking group from the People's Republic of China. The one responsible for this is the U.S. government, though, because this hack by China wouldn't have even been possible if the U.S. government wouldn't have purposely implemented a security hole. So the U.S. government should take full accountability for this. This is their fault. The attackers infiltrated wiretap systems, raising severe national security and privacy concerns. While FBI and CISA did not list specific providers, the Wall Street Journal reported early in October that AT&T, Verizon, and Lumen Technologies are among the carriers hit by the hack. Intrusions, which have lasted for months, enabled exfiltration of sensitive data, including customer call records and internet traffic to millions of Americans. I wonder what China's going to be doing with that. The hackers identified as Salt Typhoon is part of a larger collective called Typhoon, which has several splinter cells, including Volt Typhoon and Flax Typhoon. Salt reportedly exploited vulnerabilities in the telecom networks to gather intelligence. While bad actors presumably had carte blanche access to the systems, U.S. officials said the compromised data only included private communications for a limited number of individuals, primarily those involved in government or political activities. Yeah, by political activities, they probably also mean Chinese dissidents living overseas. They do love to go after them. Like if you're a Chinese citizen and you're like campaigning against the government or something, even if you're not in China anymore, yeah, they'll still come after you overseas. Though the agencies were reluctant to name names, Communist News Network reported in the lead up to the U.S. presidential election that high-profile individuals, including Orange Man and running mate J.D. Vance, may have been targeted. I think China, even back then, knew who the next president was going to be. So they were already making attempts. All right, let's get everything we can, all the information we can from them before we get busted. Hackers also copy information related to U.S. law enforcement requests, potentially undermining criminal ongoing investigations. Are there any ongoing investigations into Chinese spies or something? Because I think that's what they're going to undermine. CISA and the FBI emphasized they'll continue to assist affected companies and encourage other organizations to report suspicious activity. Now, are you going to reimburse them for any damage since this is the government's fault? They continue to render technical assistance, rapidly share information to assist the other potential victims, and to work on the strength and cyber defense across commercial and communications sector. Yeah, good for you. So TechCrunch notes that this breach is the latest in a series of sophisticated attacks attributed to China-linked Typhoon hacking groups targeting critical U.S. infrastructure. Now look, if this infrastructure is so critical, why did the government put an intentional security hole in it? I guess it must not be all that critical to them if they could just do this without a second thought. So experts warn that the campaign demonstrates heightened strategic targeting by PRC-related actors who increasingly focus on sensitive government and communication systems. Person said the company opposes cyber attacks in all forms. That's obviously a lie. Look, every single fucking country does cyber espionage against every single other country. So it's always fucking hilarious where those that don't get caught act all morally superior about it. And those that do are like, oh, no, we oppose all cyber attacks, even though we're doing them and we know the person that caught us is doing them. It's sad. However, U.S. officials and cybersecurity experts remain vigilant, warning of potential further espionage and disruptive activities. Well, it depends on how easy that back door is to plug up, because as long as it's still there, it's going to happen.